Welcome back to the Rhino JFR commands tutorial. Today, I will continue to explain the usage scenarios of the JFR command through multiple examples. Let's begin today's lesson. Now let's explain the first case. First, switch to the front view. Click on the ring Size Resizer icon. Select the entire ring. Now we need to set the original inner diameter of the ring before we can define the protection range. The protected range can ensure minimal deformation after resizing the ring. The upper arc can be placed slightly above the middle of the ring head. It doesn't have to reach the highest point of the prongs. Next, let's learn about the function of each option. The loose option under precision keeps the number of control points of the generated ring unchanged. As for accurate, it automatically adds more control points based on changes in the ring's shape. However, I recommend choosing loose to keep the original number of control points as much as possible. Protection range allows you to set whether the protection range is symmetrical. When I switch it to half, I can adjust the range on one side independently. But this ring is symmetrical, so just set it to symmetry. For layout, there are two directions, vertical and horizontal. Vertical means generating the rings in a vertical arrangement. Horizontal means generating the rings in a horizontal arrangement. A range step controls the distance between each generated ring. A value of 20 means a new ring is generated every 20 millimeters. The value displayed here is the inner diameter of the original ring. When Add Size text is enabled, a size label will be generated at the bottom of the ring. You can modify the size of the label here. Finally, enter the ring sizes you want to generate. Press Enter to wrap the line after entering. Now the settings are complete. Click OK to generate. Then wait for the calculation to finish. Select all the rings and unify the direction of their surfaces. Switch to Ghosted Display to check if the shape of the generated rings is deformed. Then measure the inner diameter of the rings to see if it's accurate. That's the first case of using ring Size Resizer. Now let's move on to the second ring case. Some rings have a uniform thickness around the entire band, like this one. Now I'll demonstrate how to resize such a ring. First, set the original size of the ring. Then adjust the protection range to 0. Set the height to be close to the thickness of the ring. This time, I'll change the layout to horizontal. Set step to 30, which means creating a new ring every 30 millimeters. Finally, modify the sizes here according to the project requirements. By the way, if you want to delete size entered, you can press the Delete key. Click OK to create. Since I changed the layout option, the new rings are created horizontally this time. The size labels on the rings help us quickly find the ring of the corresponding size. After creation, you can measure the thickness and width of the rings to check if there are any changes. For rings that taper from thin to thick, there may be a thickness difference of 0.05 to 0.1 at the middle part, and this is normal. The thickness of this ring hasn't changed. During the check, you can switch to ghosted display for better observation. Now let's move on to the next case. Sometimes we need to resize more complex rings like this one, and Ring Size Resizer can also handle this. First, switch to the front view. Select the entire ring. Click on the icon. First, set the original inner diameter of the ring. Then define the protection range to keep the patterns as non-deformed as possible. Since the upper part is all patterns, we can adjust the arc to the top of the prongs to protect the entire upper part. Still choose loose here. If you choose accurate, the surface will add many control points, which may cause the software to lag. For the other options, simply choose them as per your needs. Then I'll keep using the previous sizes here. Finally, click OK to start generating. Using this tool to resize rings saves us a lot of time. If we use the traditional method and modify each ring one by one, it will waste a lot of time. After generation, as usual, check if the dimensions of each part of the ring are accurate. If the normal direction of some surfaces is reversed, just unify the direction of the surfaces. That's the third case of resizing a ring. For the last case, I'm going to show you how to modify the ring size in a JewelCAD file using Rhino JFR. First, click on JFR Bridge tool. Select the Rhino and JewelCAD icon. Choose the JCD format. If you ultimately want to export the generated ring to JewelCAD, it is recommended to use JFR Boolean import, and do not enable the repair curves or surfaces option at the bottom. If you only want to use this file in Rhino, then select Rhino Boolean. To fully maintain the shape of the imported surface, you can enable the repair option at the bottom. Now change back, then click Import. The imported ring can be viewed using Boolean Preview. Now let's resize this ring. Select the entire ring. Click on the icon. Set the original size. The protection range needs to extend to the edge of the gemstone. The height should be set slightly above the middle of the ring head. But in actual operation, we still need to adjust the height appropriately according to the shape of different rings. Select Loose by default. Change Layout to Horizontal. Set Step to 25. It is recommended to generate this size label to help us find the corresponding size more quickly. Then generate directly. The sizes are changed quickly. Now I want to export them back to JewelCAD. Click on JFR Bridge tool. Click Export. This completes the ring size adjustment for the JewelCAD file. The above are the multiple application scenarios of Ring Size Resizer. Thanks for watching this far. If this video was helpful to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to us. See you next time.